Well, we can but hope. Anyway, they could win up to £50,000 for charity. If they want that prize money, our gym bunnies will have to work together, but 8 of them will leave with nothing. As round by round, we lose the player voted the weakest link. Let's meet the team.
I'm Colin Jackson, world record holder for the 110-metre hurdles.
I'm Claire Balding, sports presenter for the BBC.
I'm Graham Lasso, former England and Chelsea player. I now play for Southampton.
I'm Austin Healey, Leicester Tigers, England, the British Lions and Birkenhead Park.
I'm James Cracknell, world and Olympic champion rower and lover of older, red-headed women.
I'm Steve Ryder, presenter of at least part of BBC Television's bulging portfolio of top-class sport.
I'm Ewan Thomas, British 400-metre record holder, Olympic medalist and part-time wrestler.
I'm Shelley Robertson, double Olympic gold medalist in sailing. I was one of the blondes, the 3 blondes in a boat in Athens, and hopefully trying not to be too blonde this evening.
I'm Adi Adepitan, Paralympic bronze medalist and TV presenter.
Now, the rules in each round, the aim is to answer enough questions correctly to reach your £5,000 target within the time limit. The fastest way is to create a chain of 9 correct answers. Get your question wrong and you break the chain and lose all the money in that chain. But if you say bank before the question is asked, the money is safe. However, you start a new chain from scratch. Remember, team, at the end of the round, only money that's been banked can be taken forward. We'll start with the person whose name is first alphabetically. That's you, Addy. Let's play the weakest link. First question is for £100. Start the clock. Addy, in the popular expression sometimes used for starting a race, which 2-letter word follows on your marks, get set?
Go.
Correct. Colin, in children's fairy stories, when the princess finds her prince at the end of the tale, the final sentence is often, they all live happily ever what?
After.
Correct. Claire, in language, what L is the opposite of winner?
Loser.
Correct. Graham, in the UK calendar, the first public holiday of the year takes place in which month?
January.
Correct. Austin, in male sportswear, trunks are the usual attire for which game, water polo or darts?
Water polo.
Correct. James, in the north of England, the word lass is used as a form of address for a person of which sex?
Female.
Correct. Steve, in geography, which city is the capital of Spain?
Madrid.
Correct. Ewan.
Bank.
In a hotel, what K is the name of the room that is the main area of activity of a chef?
Kitchen.
Correct. Shirley, in maths, what is 50 divided by 25?
2.
Correct. Addy. In pop music, which glamour model sang Not Just Anybody in the competition to represent the UK at the 2005 Eurovision Song Contest?
Javine.
Jordan. Colin, in the animal kingdom, what is the general name for the large land mammal that is known for having grey skin, 2 tusks and a large pair of ears?
An elephant.
Correct, Claire. The sport played by teams called the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers is usually known in the UK as American what?
Football.
Correct, Graham. In history, during the English Civil War, the parliamentarians were referred to by what nickname? Square legs or roundheads?
Roundheads.
Correct, Austin. The 4-word phrase traditionally written on postcards sent to friends and family while on holiday is wish you were where?
Here.
Correct, James. In sport, which British female runner won the 2005 London Marathon?
Paula Radcliffe.
Correct, Steve.
Bank.
In TV in 1989, which single word was dropped from the title of the soap opera that became Emmerdale?
Farm.
Correct, Ewan. In slang, if a place is said to be in the sticks, it is located in which type of setting? Urban or rural?
Urban.
No, Ewan, dear, it's rural. Shirley, in the UK, the flashing lights of an ambulance on an emergency call are which primary colour?
Blue.
Correct, Eddie. The former England football manager given the freedom of Newcastle upon Tyne in 2005 for services to sport in the city is Bobby who?
Robson.
Correct. Colin, what C is the name of a geometrical shape that follows pine, ice cream and traffic to make 3 well-known phrases?
Pie.
Cone.
Oh, yeah.
Cone, Colin. Claire, In film, the large slug-like character that appears in the Star Wars series is called Jabba the Hutt. Time's up. Correct answer was Hutt. You banked £4,500. The questions could not have been easier. Who's less interesting than Steve Davis? You have to distinguish between who is nervous and who is thick. One of you is about... Steve, you haven't grown at all since last time.
Not at all, no. 2 years of effort, nothing.
The bulging portfolio you were referring to. Can you show us your bulging portfolio?
Well, we try to every weekend, and it's been bulging for many years.
Does your portfolio bulge more than Des's did?
It bulged a lot in Des's day, I must say.
And the hair, is it all your own, dear?
It still is, yes.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I'm able to grow.
Why, Colin?
He was impressive, but I fear we might have seen the best of him.
So, Ewan?
Yeah.
Welsh?
Yes.
Red hair?
Sometimes.
Pale?
Most of the time.
Can there be any more disadvantages in life? OK, so the hair.
Yeah.
Is that useful in your career? Hang on a second. What is your career at the moment?
My career? Yeah, good question there. No, as an athlete, obviously I've been injured for about 4 or 5 years. Did a bit of wrestling, some other bits and pieces, but hopefully...
You're just on bits and pieces at the moment, are you?
Well, I'm still training full-time to hopefully end my career on a high note, yeah.
And are you going to do some more television presenting?
Perhaps, you know, when I retire, it's something I really enjoy doing, so you never know.
Who knows? Miracles. So, dear, what programme would you like to present?
What would I like to present?
Yeah.
Anything that's fun and...
Do you want to have a little audition here?
If you like.
Let's pretend you got Steve's job for Saturday.
Yeah.
Supposing Colin has just had a wonderful breakthrough, he's won a race.
Yep.
How would you tell us all?
I'd say, good afternoon, everyone. You join us on Grandstand, a fully packed afternoon of sport. Colin Jackson, as you're about to see, has just broken the world record on the hurdles. Please join us, stay tuned.
Well, that's very good.
Something like that, maybe. I don't know.
And the thing is, Ewan, you're much taller than Steve as well, aren't you?
Much taller. If I go on his box, I'm probably...
Get off my box.
Would you like to announce why you're getting rid of Colin?
I feel very bad to get rid of Colin, but he got one question wrong, and I don't remember him banking any money, so sorry about that.
So, Graham, how's it going for you?
Not bad, thank you.
And you're a footballer, dear, aren't you?
I am.
Are they very bright, footballers?
Yes,
Do you read a lot?
when I can.
Really, what do you read?
Books, newspapers, anything with writing in it.
What newspapers do you read?
The Guardian.
And what's page 3 like in The Guardian?
Page 3 is great, yeah, you get great features.
What's that? What are you doing that for? So I didn't quite understand that.
I
What's
thought
that?
you might have been alluding to another newspaper that has a...
No, but why did you suddenly go like that?
It's probably a comfort thing. Harks back to when I was a child.
Why, Colin?
Unfortunately, he got a fairly straightforward question wrong.
Colin, you are the weakest link. Back.
I was very happy not to be attacked by Anne Robinson today. She was very cruel to people already, so I'm glad now I'm standing here. I had a great success as a hurdler, and only a few times I can mention I've fallen at the first hurdle. Didn't expect to do that today.
Round 2, and you've banked £4,500. You're down to 8 players. We're now taking 10 seconds off your time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Little Steve. Let's play the weakest link. Start clock. Steve, in musical instruments, what is the usual name for the levers on a piano that are operated with the foot to produce a variation in sound?
Pedals.
Correct. Ewan. In the animal kingdom, the informal 2-word term for a small creature, such as an insect, is a creepy what?
Crawley.
Correct. Shirley. The UK political party, founded in 2005 by Robert Kilroy Silk, is called Veritas, which is Latin for what? Truth or tangerine?
Truth.
Correct, Addy. In DIY, the basic components used to join things together are known as nuts and what?
Bolts.
Correct, Claire. In drinks, a person asking 1 lump or 2 when serving tea or coffee is referring to which substance?
Sugar.
Correct, Graham. In horse racing, the rider who became first jockey at the Ballydoyle stable in Ireland in February 2005 is Kieran who?
Fallon.
Correct, Austin.
Bang.
In a family, what is the usual term for the brother of a parent?
Uncle.
Correct, James. In metaphors, a person who has found unexpected success is said to have struck which precious metal?
Gold.
Correct, Steve. In sport, the campaign to bring the Olympic Games to London in 2012 had the 3-word name Back the what?
The bid.
Correct, Ewan. In architecture, what V was the term for a country house in Roman times and is now used in Britain to denote a rented holiday home abroad?
So the question again, sorry.
In architecture, what V was the term for a country house in Roman
Villa.
times? Correct. Shirley, in cinema, the 2005 film set during the Crusades of the 12th century and starring Orlando Bloom is called Kingdom of where?
Heaven.
Correct. Addy, in history, the actors who performed a traditional folk play at festive times of the year were known as what, mamas or papas?
Mamas.
Correct. Claire, in Argentine politics in the 1940s and 1950s, what was the first name of the wife of President Perón?
Ava.
Correct. Graham, on the speaking clock, what P is a word meaning exactly that is used to describe the time at each new minute?
Precisely.
Correct. Austin, in UK geography, the city of St Albans is in which English county?
Hertfordshire.
Correct, James. In basketball, a dramatic shot in which the ball is thrust into the basket from above the rim is known as a slam what?
Dunk.
Correct, Steve. In food, what B is a bread product popular in Jewish cuisine that is often filled with cream cheese?
Bagel.
Correct. Ewan. OK, astonishingly, you've reached, in fact, you've even exceeded your £5,000 target. That money will go through to the next round. Who's the lost golf ball in the bunker of despair? Who'd be last to be picked for a game of solitaire? If the family name had been Reliant, would they have called you Robin?
We'll never know, will we? I was just fortunate enough to be called after a beautiful sports car.
So you're at Leicester now?
Yep.
So if I came for a night out in Leicester, put on a rugby shirt, what sort of excitement should I expect?
Well, we'd dance the night away and making sweet music.
Why are you scratching? Don't scratch, dear.
I'm just thinking about the night.
Would we play Fuzzy Duck? How do we
Depends how much
play
we'd had to
Fuzzy
drink.
Duck?
Depends how much we'd had to drink. We'd play with some kind of fuzz, I'm sure, but...
And you do a trick of dropping your trousers. Why'd you do this trick of dropping your trousers?
Well, I just like to give people a treat.
Why, Ewan?
Because I know Ewan the best out of everyone here, I suppose, and, you know, I think everyone else is really nice and they've done really well, and I think Ewan deserves to go.
So, Claire, how's your little Willie?
I haven't seen him for a while, but he's always in very good health and laughing very loudly, as all good Willies should.
You grew up with horses, and then you were an amateur jockey. And why did you give up?
Because I'm too fat.
And why Ewan? Is it because he's thin?
Probably, yes. Huge jealousy on my part. The nerves and your steely stare may be getting to him.
James, you like older red-headed women?
No, I can't stand them, but I was trying to get on your good side.
And rowing, that's just a sport for toffs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you a posh boy, really?
I like to feel I'm still in touch with the proletariat.
How do you keep in touch?
Email, chat rooms.
Why Ewan?
Don't know.
Well, there must be a reason.
I think you had to repeat the question to him, so that was a bit of time wasting.
Ewan, you are the weakest link.
Claire said she thought I might be suffering from nerves, but to be honest, I think everybody's nervous out there. And to be truthful, I was loosening up. The more I was going on, I was enjoying it. As the questions got harder, I found it more challenging and I was relaxing.
Round 3, and you've won £9,500. You're down to 7 players. Another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round. That's little Steve again. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Steve, for the 2005 Red Nose Day, which singer dressed as a lady in a sketch alongside the characters Florence and Emily from Little Britain?
Pass.
Robbie Williams. Shirley, in fashion, the name of which item of furniture is also the term for all of the clothes owned by an individual?
Wardrobe.
Correct. Addy, in politics, the upper chamber of the British Parliament is called the House of what?
Commons.
Lords. Claire, the host of the Russian version of Weakest Link won a gold medal at the 2004 Olympics in which sport? Weightlifting or synchronised swimming?
Synchronised swimming.
Correct. Graham, in science, in the flow of electricity, while the letters AC stand for alternating current, the letters DC stand for what?
Direct current.
Correct. Austin, in rowing, to make a faulty stroke, thereby impeding the motion of the boat, is known as catching a what? No, I'm not letting you have it. He told you. James. Oh. In transport, what G is the abbreviated 3-letter American name for petrol?
Gas.
Correct. Steve. In May 2005, which rock group comprising Eric Clapton, Ginger Baker and Jack Bruce reunited for the first time in 36 years for 4 London concerts?
Cream.
Correct. Shirley. In nature, the usual name for a small pile of earth thrown up on the surface of a lawn by a small burrowing mammal is a mole what?
Hill.
Correct. Addy. In arithmetic, an answer known as the sum is produced by which basic operation? Addition or subtraction?
Addition.
Correct. Claire, in UK politics in 1997, the Department of National Heritage was renamed as the Department for Culture, Media and what?
Sport.
Correct. Graham. In snooker, if the balls are potted in the correct order, which will be the last colour to go down?
Black.
Correct. Austin. In building techniques, what name is given to the part of a country cottage that is most likely to be thatched?
The roof.
Correct. James. In fast food, a takeaway service that allows customers to order and collect a meal without leaving their cars is known as a what-through?
Drive.
Correct. Steve. At the US Masters golf course in Augusta, which object is named after former President Eisenhower as he frequently hit into it? A bunker or a tree?
Tree.
Correct.
Bank.
Shirley. In the 2005 film Monster-in-Law, the actress who stars in the title role as an overprotective mother is Jane who?
Pass.
Fonda. Addy, what name for a device used to open bottles can also describe tightly wound curls in hair?
Curls. Corkscrew.
No, I have to accept your first answer. Corkscrew is the correct answer. Claire, in entertainment, the actor Murray Head. Time's up, and you only banked £2,500. But you know, at one point you had a chain of 9 correct answers, so you could have reached your target. Who should be sitting on the subs bench? Who should be sent and delivered wrapped round the sun?
No, I have the Guardian delivered right round the Independent.
And what are you going to do after Southampton? Crew Alexandra, perhaps?
No, without being disrespectful to Crew Alexander, I think I wouldn't be worth much in terms of my physical state at the moment after playing
what's the matter with your physical state?
In football terms, Anne, I'm quite old.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
You look very sexy still, Greg.
That's very kind of you, Anne.
Why, Addy?
Well, unfortunately, you got a couple of questions wrong, so I'll be out in the next round.
So, Austin, you knew that Thatch question, didn't you?
Yeah, I have a thatched roof at home.
Anything else thatched about you, Austin?
No, nothing.
That's not somebody else's hair, is it?
Actually, Anne, it's a laser treatment. And as you can see, it's very successful.
So you were bald, were you?
No, the company, they can work wonders with your hair. They can help it regrow, but there's not a great deal they can do for the colour.
Do you not like the colour?
I like mine.
Why, Addy?
He's a fantastic sportsman, but he's not very good at the weakest link, is he?
We'll get you, Austin. Addy, you are the weakest link. Bye.
What I don't understand is all of us has got easy questions wrong, not just me. And as for Claire, she's supposed to be my mate. I thought she was going to be backing me up. Claire, I'm disappointed at you.
Round 4, £12,000 banked. 6 of you left, another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Chubby Claire. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Claire, in past times, what C is the name of a card game so called because the whole point of it is to break the rules without being caught?
Cheat.
Correct, Graham. In geography, in terms of area, what is the largest country in South America?
Brazil.
Correct, Austin. In hospital terminology, in the abbreviations A&E and ER, the letter E stands for which word?
Emergency.
Correct, James. In the animal kingdom, the species of fish named after a boxer because of its aggressive manner is called a what? Jack Dempsey or Mike Tyson?
Jack Dempsey.
Correct, Steve. In music, which word follows pipe, reed and mouth to give the names of 3 instruments?
Organ.
Correct, Shirley. In literature, the former yachtswoman who has written many books, including A Dark Devotion, Red Crystal and Betrayal, is Claire who?
Francis.
Correct, Claire. In women's clothing, what D is the general term for a garment sometimes known as a frock?
Dress.
Correct, Graham. In sport, which TV doctor was banned from running in the London Marathon after passing his bib number onto his son for the 2005 event?
Pass.
Hilary Jones. Austin. In language, which 2-word French phrase is used in English to mean both during the journey and on the way?
On y va.
En route. James. In the James Bond films, Pussy Galore was the name of whom? Goldfinger's pilot or Blofeld's cat?
Goldfinger's pilot.
Correct, Steve. In rugby union, which country of the UK won the 2005 Six Nations Championship and the Grand Slam?
Wales.
Correct, Shirley. In motoring, in the name of a common type of car insurance, which term for a blaze goes between third party and theft?
Fire.
Correct. Claire. In anatomy, what B is a part of the human body and also the direct opposite of the word front?
Back.
Correct,
Bank.
Graham. In travel, the Grand Canal is the main thoroughfare of which Italian city?
Venice.
Correct, Austin. In a 1980s and 90s TV series, the characters Tinker Dill, Eric Catchpole and Lady Jane Felsham were colleagues of which antiques dealer?
Pass.
Lovejoy. James, in the world of birds, the tern has what alternative name? Sandspit or sea swallow?
Sea swallow.
Correct, Steve. In pop music, the track Like Toy Soldiers was a UK #1 single in 2005 for which rapper?
Pass.
Eminem. Shirley.
Bank.
In computing, a handheld device that can move a cursor on a screen is often rolled across a small pad known by the alliterative name mouse what? Time's up. I can't complete the question. You only won £2,000. So, who's the Wayne Rooney at the pub quiz? Who's now the fat kid crying in the sports hall?
Austin.
Austin.
Shirley, you said you didn't want to be too blonde tonight. How do you think the blonde performance is going?
I think I'm picking it up quite quickly.
Does all that wind you get at sea, does that get to the head, to the brain, do you think?
I think it's affected my hearing.
That's your excuse. What did you particularly dislike about Austin?
Well, he got some questions wrong, and I was kind of hoping he'd drop his trousers, so I voted him off.
So, Steve, you're very competitive, aren't you?
Well, not especially, no. It's,
Is that sort of Napoleon syndrome, because you're a little man?
yes, little tyrant.
Is that what they call you?
It does sound very similar to that.
What particularly irritated you about Austin?
Absolutely nothing, but, I mean, I'm sorry to vote for him, but it's just the way his career has gone, really. It's
Austin, you are the weakest link. Bye.
An ideal night for me with Anne in Leicester would be we'd go out for a nice quiet meal, then we'd go clubbing and dancing, and then, you know, who knows, I'll take her back to mine for a coffee, and then she'd go home.
Round 5 and your total is £14,000. You're down to 5 players, another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Chubby Claire again. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Claire, from the age of 18, future Olympic champion Kelly Holmes spent 9 years serving in which of the 3 main armed forces? Correct, Graham. In theatre in 2005, which former EastEnders actress and winner of Strictly Come Dancing starred in the West End production of the musical Chicago?
Martine McCutcheon.
Jill Halfpenny. James, in history, what C is a word for an item of furnishing that follows iron and bamboo to make 2 expressions for post-war lines of division?
Chair.
Curtain. Steve, in literature, in the title of a 1957 book by Alistair MacLean, 5 men are sent on a mission to destroy the guns of where?
Never own.
Correct, Shirley. In a common expression meaning when the confusion is over, which tiny particle of household dirt is said to have settled?
The dust.
Correct, Claire. In the 1994 film The Lion King, Pumbaa the warthog became the first Disney character to do what on screen? Make love or break wind?
Break wind.
Correct, Graham. In UK geography, the 4-letter name of which town in northeast Scotland follows Gat and Press to give 2 international airports?
Wick.
Correct, James. In Formula 1 in 2005, which British driver was banned for 2 races when his car was found to be underweight?
Jenson Button.
Bank.
Correct, Steve. In architecture, what P is the name of the oldest and the only surviving of the 7 wonders of the ancient world?
Pyramid.
Correct. Shirley, in US history, the entertainer of very short stature who toured with Barnum's Circus was known as General Tom who?
Custard.
Thumb. Claire, in rock music, the word axe is often used as a nickname for which electric stringed instrument?
Guitar.
Correct, Graham. In British politics, which future Prime Minister played first-class cricket for Middlesex, Winston Churchill or Alec Douglas Hume?
Winston Churchill.
Alec Douglas Hume. James, in finance, what's the name of the Asian currency that is symbolised by a letter Y with 2 horizontal bars across it?
Nikkei Da.
Yen.
Oh.
Steve, in transport, what O describes a road that goes all the way around a town at some distance from
Orbital.
the centre? Correct, Shirley. In TV, the British actress born in 1932 and famous for her roles in Fawlty Towers and supermarket adverts is Prunella who?
Stumps.
What else has she starred in, Prunella Stumps?
I'm sure it begins with S.
Correct answer was Scales. And you banked £1,500. Whose fault was that? Who's now allergic to medals? Who couldn't pass a pie shop?
Early.
James.
Obviously, we have to be a lot...
They're all babes, aren't they? Except you and Sue Barker.
Even Sue's a babe. I'm not, obviously. No, we have to be a lot better than the men to get anywhere at all, but that's life, isn't it?
And why are you getting rid of blonde, beautiful, thin Shirley?
Because I hate her. No, she's starting to struggle a little bit.
So, James, how's it going for you now?
Feel pretty lucky right now. I had a very poor round.
Do you think you might win?
I was feeling confident, and after that last round, I'm not so confident.
No, you must understand, we're on the weakest link. You don't have to talk as if you're being interviewed by a sports reporter now. Why Shirley?
Because it was either her or me, and I can't vote for me.
Shirley, we're going to let you go and join your friend General Tom Custer and your other friend, Prunella Stumps.
I'm not good with names.
No, I think we've got that. Shirley, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Everyone else voted for me, and it was like at school, you know, when you're not picked for games. It was that kind of feeling. It really felt kind of rejected and like I'd let everyone down. I thought I could have gone a little bit further and certainly could have beaten the footballer.
Round 6, and you're up to £15,500. You're down to 4 players, another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's little Steve. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Steve, in sailing, what T is the name for a boat with 3 hulls?
Trimaran.
Correct. Claire. In superstition, a shaft used to extract water that is also said to grant requests when coins are thrown into it is called a wishing what?
Well.
Correct, Graham. In sport, what's the name of the horse who won the 2005 Grand National?
Hedge Hunter.
Correct. James, which alcoholic drink is colloquially known as Mother's Ruin?
Gin.
Correct, Steve.
Bank.
In nature, the insect-eating plant that captures flies by quickly closing 2 leaves together is called the what?
Venus flytrap.
Correct. Claire, in TV, what C describes pre-recorded laughter dubbed onto a comedy
Canned.
programme? Correct. Graham, at the start of a game of chess, which chessman stand on the squares in front of the king, queen and bishops?
Pawns.
Correct.
Bank.
James, in the football season that ended in May 2005, which club won the English Premiership?
Chelsea.
Correct, Steve. In geography, what T is the name of the African country that is the location of the peaks of Kilimanjaro?
Tanzania.
Correct, Claire. In UK political history, the women who campaigned for the right to vote between 1903 and 1914 were known by what one-word name?
Suffragette.
Correct, Graham. In
Bank.
human anatomy, the carpal bones are in which joint, the wrist or the ankle?
Wrist.
Correct, James. What's the first name of the member of the British royal family who in 1969 was invested as Prince of Wales?
Charles.
Correct, Steve. In weather, which form of precipitation falls in so-called stones?
Hail.
Correct, Claire. In pastimes, what H is a word for an Eastern tobacco pipe that sounds like the name of a position in the front row of a rugby scrum?
Hooker.
Correct, Graham.
Bank.
In pop music in 2005, which Irish band were inducted into the Rock and Roll Music Hall of Fame?
U2.
Correct, James. In the Bible, in the book of Genesis, who was sold by his brothers to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver?
Adam.
Joseph. Steve. In jewellery, the Hope, the Tiffany and the Kimberley are all famous examples of which precious stone? Time's up. You banked £3,000, but you know you had a chain of 15 correct answers. Is James several lengths behind? Should Graham be reading the star? Will Claire be shown the whip? Or will you throw overboard little Steve?
Steve.
James.
We have a tie team. James and Steve. 2 votes each. So, Steve, how do you think you did in that last round?
OK. OK, I don't recall a great deal about it, to be honest.
Did you have trouble with any of the questions?
Not that I recall.
So you must be quite surprised to find yourself being voted for.
Not at all, no, no. It's, nobody likes a smart ass.
Even a little smart ass.
Indeed.
And why did you vote for James?
He looks like he needs a drink.
So, James, how do you think you did in that last round?
I was good until the biblical question, and asked about Genesis. I know 2 people in the Bible, Adam and Jesus, and I know Phil Collins is a member of Genesis, and I knew it wasn't him, so I went for Adam.
So why did you vote for Steve?
He's in my peripheral vision more than anyone else, because they've gone. So...
Well, when the vote's tied, the strongest link has to cast the deciding vote. And the strongest link was Graham.
Crikey.
Why on earth would you want to get rid of Steve?
I've not just been looking at the questions and the answers, Anne. I've been looking at...
Analysing, have you?
Analysing the relationships amongst this group. And I think you'd rather see Steve go than James. So I'm with you.
Do you want to get rid of Steve or James?
I'm going to have to vote Steve off.
Steve, you are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Well, I feel a bit frustrated because I wasn't doing too much wrong, but the pressure is on in there now, and when you're competing alongside such ultra-competitive characters like James Cracknell and Graham Lasso as well, I had to go, and good luck to Graham, but I know what it feels like to be relegated now.
Round 7, you've got £18,500. You're down to 3 players, another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round, that's Graham. Let's play the weakest link. Start the top. Graham, in tennis, the Roland Garros Stadium, which hosts the French Open, is named after whom? A Parisian mayor or a fighter pilot?
Parisian mayor.
Fighter pilot. James, at the 2005 Television and Radio Industries Club Awards, which female BBC presenter was named Newscaster of the Year?
Fiona Bruce.
Natasha Kaplinsky. Claire, in botany, what D is the term used to describe any tree that sheds its leaves annually?
Deciduous.
Correct. Graham, in literature, the sentence slow but steady wins the race is the moral of the Aesop fable featuring the hare and which other animal?
Turtle. Tortoise.
I have to accept your first answer. Tortoise was the correct answer. James, in history, what is the 2-word name of the Great Survey of England commissioned in 1086 by William the Conqueror?
Ordnance. What?
Doomsday
Magna
Book.
Carta. What?
Claire, in athletics, the British long... Be quiet! Claire, in athletics, the British long jumper Jay Johnson is allergic to which substance? Water
Sand.
or sand? Correct. Graham, according to the lyrics of the 1969 rock opera Tommy by The Who, that deaf, dumb and blind kid sure plays a mean what?
Pass.
Pinball. James, in food, which word follows butternut, acorn and spaghetti to make the names 3 types of gourd?
3 types of what, sorry?
Gourd.
Squash.
Correct. Claire, in currency, which British coin shaped like a heptagon was reissued in 1997 in a smaller and lighter form?
20 pence.
50 pence. Graham, in football, the supporters of the national team of which country, the UK, are known as the Tartan Army?
Scotland.
Correct. James, in TV, Imelda Staunton and Elaine Cassidy starred in the 2005 adaptation of which novel by Sarah Waters?
Pass.
Fingersmith. Claire, at fun fairs, a tub filled with sawdust from which articles of varying value are extracted at random.
Lucky
It's called...
dip.
Correct, Graham. In theatre in 2004, Nathan Lane and Lee Evans opened in the West End stage version of which Mel Brooks musical?
Producers.
Correct. James, in sport, the point of exhaustion... Well, your bank we could not take. And as a result, in that round, you won absolutely nothing. In round 8, you get the chance to treble what you bank. That means in the next round, there's £15,000 to
be the strongest link. But who will be taking the final walk of shame?
Voting over, it's time to reveal who you think is the weakest link.
James.
James.
Claire.
There, it must have been a difficult decision to make.
I think it was the Doomsday Book that really did it.
Graham, why James?
He had a bad round. We all had a bad round. I'm a bit sad. I don't really want to talk too much about it, Anne.
James, you are the weakest link.
If I was to compare Anne to another athlete or people you meet in the Olympics, she's the one that all athletes don't like. It's a coach who's never done it but always there to criticise, and that's what she is. I'd like to see her standing there on the spot answering the questions and then see how good her chat is.
Round 8, you have £18,500. The 2 of you left, and in this round you've got 90 seconds. But whatever you win will be trebled. We'll start with the strongest link in the last round. That's Claire. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Claire, in New York in 1962, Marilyn Monroe famously sang Happy Birthday to which US
JFK.
president? Correct. Graham, in zoology, what H is the term for a permanent bone-like outgrowth on the head of an animal?
Horn.
Correct. Claire, in 3-day eventing in 2005, which rider won her 3rd badminton title in 4 years?
Hippotunnel.
Correct. Graham, in sculpture, the female figure holding a sword and scales that stands on top of the dome of the Old Bailey in London is known as the statue of what?
Justice.
Correct, Claire. In pastimes, which word that rhymes with muzzle denotes a game or toy that is designed
Puzzle.
to Correct,
Bank.
Graham. In pop music, which Welsh group called the 2005 UK #1 album Language, Sex, Violence, Other?
Pass.
Stereophonics, Claire. In human anatomy, the name of which pair of facial features is also used as a slang term for the buttocks?
Ears.
Cheeks. Graham. In the animal kingdom, birds such as geese are said to fly together in a formation resembling which letter of the alphabet? Correct, Claire. A chant that is used in honour of someone popular is 2, 4, 6, 8.
Who do we appreciate?
Correct, Graham. In geography, what is the name of the state in the northeast corner of Australia?
New South Wales.
Queensland. Claire, in sayings, someone who has successfully met the standards expected of them is said to have cut which condiment?
The jam.
Mustard.
Oh, sorry.
Graham, what is the title of the 1999 film in which characters played by Brad Pitt? Time's up. You won £1,500, which will treble. That means prize money tonight of £23,000. Only one of you can take that money. So now you'll play against each other up to 5 questions each. If there's a tie, we'll go for sudden death until we have a winner. Therefore, Claire and Graham, for £23,000, let's play The Weakest Link. Claire is the strongest link in the last round. You have the choice of who goes first.
I'd like to go first, please.
Claire, in sport in 1930, which famous dog became the first to win the Greyhound Derby in 2 successive years?
I know this. It's gone, and I know it. It's something... Sam. I can't remember.
The correct answer is Mick the Miller. Graham, which TV presenter who calls himself the Duke wrote a 2003 autobiography subtitled What a Bobby Dazzler?
No idea.
Correct answer is David Dickinson. Claire, which West End musical that's set in the future was co-written by Ben Elton and Queen?
I can't remember. It's something like Bohemian Rhapsody, but it's not. It's got a different title.
Correct answer is We Will Rock You. Graham, in geography, Norway shares a land border of over 1,600 kilometres with which other country?
Russia.
Really? How long's that been?
Russia's changed a lot in recent years.
Correct answer is Sweden. Claire, when written as a word, which is the only number in the English language that is spelt with as many letters as its numerical value?
4.
That is the correct answer. Graham, in sport, born in Belgium in 1945, who is the only cyclist to have won both the Tour de France and the Tour of Italy on 5 occasions?
Pass.
Correct answer is Eddie Merckx. Claire, at the 2005 general election, the former Labour MP George Galloway was elected to Parliament as the leader of which party?
It was his independent party, which was called Respect.
That is the correct answer. Graham, in British wildlife, which native carnivore is the only amphibious member of the weasel family and often lives in a burrow called a holt in a riverbank?
The otter.
That is the correct answer. Claire, which actress has a daughter called Mia with James Threppleton and a son called Joe with Sam Mendes?
Kate Winslet.
That is the correct answer. Claire, you are tonight's strongest link and you go away with £23,000. What are you going to do with the money?
Give it to Riding for the Disabled.
Graham, you leave with nothing. Join us again for The Weakest Link.
I think Anne is slightly prejudiced against footballers, thinking that, that the stereotype is one of not being overly bright, but I can assure you there are a lot of bright footballers out there.
Anne called me Chubby Claire throughout, but that was entirely my fault, because when she said, why did I give up riding, I said, because I'm too fat. And I thought I might as well be honest. And that was fine, if she wants to use that as a stick to beat me with, the crusty old cow is quite welcome to.